Hello homies and welcome to day 3 of World Homeopathy Awareness Week, where we'll be releasing a new episode every day from 10 till 16 April to celebrate the birthday of the founder of homeopathy, Samuel Hahnemann, who was born on 10 April 1755. Today is the first of our series of 5 episodes where you'll hear from mothers and a couple of children who use homeopathy. Today you'll hear from one of my lovely assistants, Amy, who has really taken to homeopathy like a duck to water, and not only has she achieved wonderful results at home herself, but she's helped so many other mothers in their homeopathic journey. You'll also hear from Beau, another empowered homeopathic mama who is also a midwife and has now gone on to study homeopathy herself at Switch On Health, which is actually the only college in Australia where you can currently study homeopathy, and you'll find out more about them in episode 35 of this podcast. You'll also hear from another Amy, a gorgeous and talented musical mama I've been lucky enough to work with for a couple of years. And then you'll hear from the lovely Lulu, who is just one of the loveliest and kindest and happiest people you'll ever meet. Then you'll hear from my bestie, Joanna. We actually did an awesome podcast episode together when I first started this podcast, and she was sharing how in Switzerland, where she's from, homeopathy is available in all the pharmacies and prescribed by most of the medical doctors there. Unfortunately, the audio for that podcast wasn't great and we never ended up using it. So I'm so glad Joanna was able to do a quick voice recording for me to add to our homeopathy awareness special. Lucky last is the fabulous Lainey, who has not only used homeopathy successfully with her family, but also with their gorgeous doggy, who she has spent so much love and care in helping. So for all the mamas who have shared your stories in this podcast episode, thank you so much. I am so lucky and honored to know each of you, and thanks for your time in recording this for our lovely listeners to enjoy.
Hi, my name's Amy Vickers, and I was introduced to homeopathy a couple of years back when I started studying a modern medicine woman course online, and from about week 2, my mind has been blown. We've since gotten rid of Panadol and Nurofen in our house. We have 4 children, so it was pretty frequently used beforehand. And yeah, we've just replaced basically all of that with new remedies. So we use belladonna for fevers, we use apis for insect and stings, we use arnica for when my son falls off his bike or his scooter and ends up covered in bruises and scratches. We've used arsenium and aconite on my dog when she's scared during thunderstorms. There's a remedy for everything, and I know that sounds cliche, but there honestly is. Anything you can think of in the family home, medically and emotionally, there is a remedy for. Being a mum of 4 little kids that are all close together, CPR has been an absolute godsend with giving me a bit of balance and patience and restoring my motherly nurturing ability on a hard day after a rough moment or two. And yeah, I just can't thank homeopathy enough for giving my family a natural alternative that actually works so that we can replace some of these harmful pharmaceutical products and get back to living our best lives. So my advice for anyone who's interested or doubtful of homeopathy, don't knock it until you try it. And don't just try it once, because homeopathy, the right remedy will work like magic. The wrong remedy won't work at all. So there's plenty of doubters out there that tell you that homeopathy is a scam, that it's all the placebo effect, but I'm sorry, you cannot tell me that my dog that is shaking and covering our floor in spit droplets because she is absolutely terrified of thunder knows anything about the placebo effect, that when I slip a little bit of water that's got a dissolved pill or 2 in it under her tongue, and it works within a matter of seconds, maybe minutes at most, you can't tell me that's placebo effect. That dog has no idea what I'm doing. It blows my mind how wonderful homeopathy works. So yeah, any skeptics out there, any doubters out there, try it. And then try it again, because sometimes it's a journey. Sometimes you have to try a few different things before you hit the nail on the head, but it is the most amazing feeling when you actually find that right remedy. So yeah, give it a go. Homeopathy is wonderful. It's definitely a game changer for mums and parents and anyone. Plants, animals, people, pregnant women, babies, everyone can use homeopathy and benefit from it. So please try it. And yeah, once you've tried it and you've experienced how wonderful it is, scream it from the rooftops, because more people need to know about it. More people need to try it. Like, I honestly believe that homeopathy can change the world if it's actually embraced.
Hi everyone, my name is Beau. I just wanted to share a few of my favourite remedies that have helped me so much in recent times. I had a consult mostly about my painful periods about 6 months ago, and I was prescribed sepia, which has just helped me tremendously. I feel like it just balances my mood and emotions throughout the month really well, and I take that and the painful period mix as needed. I've had painful periods since I started my menstrual cycle, and I had surgery to investigate it. The doctors didn't find anything. I was on the contraceptive pill for 10 years, unfortunately, with lots of other nasty side effects to stop the pain. And I also tried lots of other alternate therapies to help with the pain, and nothing even touched the surface. So with the painful period mix, I only have to take 1 to 2 doses at the most when my period starts, and I'm absolutely pain-free every month. This is the first time in my life I've ever been able to say that. And bryonia is one that's just helped me so much. I had plantar fasciitis recently out of nowhere. I've never really had it before. Quite strong pain in my heel when I want to walk, and I read up on bryonia. I took 1 dose and the pain was gone, and that was after I had been struggling for a couple of days with it on and off. I also recently went off coffee, a little bit unprepared, but I suffered with an extreme migraine where I was sensitive to light, lying in bed in so much pain. I took 1 dose of bryonia. I actually did take a couple of other remedies first that I thought suited me that didn't help much. A gelsemium was one, and I took the bryonia, 1 dose, the migraine was gone. It was instant relief, and I really thought I needed to go to hospital anytime soon before I had taken that, so that was amazing. The growing pains mix has been amazing to help my 3-year-old who just every so often complains of sore legs and feet at night, and her sleep is disrupted. As soon as I realised that it might be sort of a growing pains issue, I gave her this remedy, and 1 dose she was out for the night, sleeping much better and no more pain. The arnica obviously is just so useful in a family. We use it for bruises, but recently my son has had a couple of nosebleeds at night. Initially we didn't know to use arnica, but cold packs and things didn't stop the bleed. And as soon as I used arnica, the first dose, the bleeding stopped within seconds. So yeah, I've had an amazing experience, and very, very grateful that I've found all these amazing remedies to support myself and my family.
Hi, my name's Amy, and I've been using homeopathy for the last 2 years, and we love using arnica and belladonna and all the little ones that are in Eugenie's mother and child kit. We have used every single one. And Madeline, which one's your favourite?
Hi, my name is Madeline, and I love my remedy favourite one is it's only one.
The growing pains one?
Yep, and it makes my knees not too sore.
Lovely. What about Jessie, your dolls?
Jessie loves her sleepy because it makes her sleepy, and her kiss with Jessie, and it makes her sleepy and getting tired, and her may helps her get go to sleep.
Wonderful. What about you, White? What's your favourite remedy?
My favorite.
Is yours Arnica?
Oh,
Can you say Arnica?
oh, they are.
Arnica, because you like to bump your head a lot, don't you? And you bump your body as it helps you. And the funny story for Madeline was yesterday, her grandfather had bumped his knee and he said to her, "What should I take?" And she said straight away, "You should take Arnica," because she knew how to prescribe it for her grandfather. So that's why we love homeopathy. It's so good for our family. Everyone loves using it. We've got our entire extended family on it now as well, and friends. It's one of the best natural things for our family. Thanks.
Hi, Eugenie. It's Lulu. There's so many remedies that we swear by, but I'll try to keep it down to the ones that I used most recently. First of all was arnica, both for the birth and afterwards. Amazing. Arnica we also use for my son when he split his head open, which leads to hypercal, the mother tincture that I got from you. That was amazing for both his bruise on his head, the cut, and for baby's umbilical cord. It dried faster than any of my other kids, and it fell off like the second or third day and totally dry. So amazing. And we used the tissue salt as well, the one that has all of the salts in it. So all the kids take that religiously. Oh, and then they know how to use Sol if they're going to be out in the sun. So they remember to take that. And if they've been around people who've been sick or coughing, they know to take aconite. My husband loves the sprains and strains remedy. He also uses the shift work remedy because of his sleeping schedules, depending on the days he's working, and he wasn't working. So that was good for him. Happy husband, happy rest of the family. The snoring remedy is a godsend because I'm a snorer. Another one that comes to mind that was amazing to witness visually was when one of my nieces ate some kiwi fruit and she reacted right away. Her face was swollen, her eyes were swelling shut, and she was crying and itchy, and I had a few pilules left of apis, and that brought it right down, like not even 200C, 30C apis, and it brought it right down. And I wish her dad was home to see how well the remedy worked. But he wasn't, but it was amazing. And Himalis for the hemorrhoids after birth. Oh my God. I was in so much agony the first 2 days, but once I started Himalis 200C, it's helped resolve a hemorrhoid that I've had since I've come to Australia. I came in 2004. That's when I had my first ever hemorrhoid, and it stuck around. And now I can say it's gone. The breastfeeding mix is another one that I swear by because I'm still tandem feeding, and it's really helped keep my supply up.
Hello, my name is Joanna Mander, and I have used homeopathy ever since I'm little. I grew up in Switzerland, where homeopathy is quite popular. In fact, it's even covered by health insurances, so it's basically been embedded in my life ever since growing up. I use it for all sorts of acute issues, be it the common coughs, colds during winter, to bumps and bruises, cuts, burns, sleep. I use it often for sleep, to teeth, etc., but also for more, ongoing issues. Most recently, I've used it in my recovery. So I've had a really bad accident, where I ended up with multiple pelvic fractures and a nasty fractured collarbone. I was pretty much out of action for, only 5.5 weeks. I got the pleasure to be in hospital and do rehab in there and took it religiously. And all the nurses, the doctors, physios, etc. were amazed at my recovery. Basically, within 5.5 weeks, I was on my legs again, walking for another week of crutches, and then I dropped the crutches. So basically, just shy of 7 weeks, I was walking without crutches. So it's been a super quick recovery, and that's where I used the fracture homeopathy support, which has symphytum in there, religiously. And I do believe that aside from my strong will, the homeopathy support helped me immensely in this very quick recovery and getting my bones back knit together. I've also used it for all sorts of other issues, such as with little Wan. She used to suffer from anxiety and fear of not being able to do certain things. For example, she used to hate, or she wouldn't actually put her head underwater up until the age of nearly 6. And, it's getting desperate. And my lovely homeopath usually suggested to take, what was it called? Lycopodium, I think it's called, the remedy. And I gave her that before her swim lesson. And I just couldn't believe it. She actually dived for the first time in that swim lesson after she took it. So I was just in awe. I also used it for my pets. One of my cats, he got diagnosed with a liver condition and, kidney. It was the kidneys actually. And got all sorts of medicine prescribed to him. And I obviously wanted to avoid that, especially him being an older cat. So I tried the kidney remedy for him. And lo and behold, within, I want to say a week or so of giving it to him, he started putting weight back on. He was much healthier and more lively again. So yeah, loads of amazing success stories. And I am so grateful to have homeopathy in my life, have a drawer full of remedies. And that's my short story.
Hi, my name is Lainey, and homeopathy has changed my life. It's empowered me and given me the tools to confidently look after my family, my 4-legged fur baby, and myself. There's so many remedies that I love. Over time, they sort of become like your besties because they're always there to bail you out during your troubling times. At the top of the list is aconite. This is what my family and I usually reach for at the first sign of a cold, and it's usually enough to stop whatever is brewing in its tracks. Califos is another remedy that I think everyone needs. I call it the cool, calm, and collective remedy. It is amazing at soothing and calming the nervous system. It's an absolute favorite with our dog, Charlie Brown. At the first sight of a suitcase or a bag, he becomes a nervous wreck and starts pacing back and forth. After a dose or two of Califos, I usually find him curled up on the couch, unaware of the chaos happening around him. Arnica. Arnica is another family favorite. We're a pretty sporty family, and Arnica is amazing at helping us recover from injuries and accidents. I always make sure that I carry a bottle of this in my gym bag. I've lost count how many times I've used it during soccer games when a teammate has gone down for some reason. Usually you find me running over, giving them 2 little pellets of Arnica. And my favorite part is when they come up to me later asking for more, and I get to tell them all about homeopathy. Arsenicum is great for anxiety, especially anxiousness from an upcoming event, exam, or any situation that you're sort of not looking forward to. Arsenicum is enough to usually diffuse those anxiousness feelings. It's also amazing for food poisoning. The Sleep Calm combo is another family favorite. I love it when my 5-year-old reminds me after I tuck him in, "Mommy, don't forget the Sleep Calm combo so I can have a good night rest." It's definitely one that we have most nights. Nux vomica is another great one, especially for upset tummies. When you've had too many biscuits or when you've had too many margaritas, it's usually enough to settle the tummy. Sepia is also great, especially for menstrual period cramps. There's so many more remedies that I absolutely love, but these are some of my favorites. The combos in themselves are incredibly amazing. For those wanting to try homeopathy, just do it. You'll never look back. Trust me. Thank you for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed it.